Okay, so we were on a little journey. We actually had to go to Edmonton, Alberta. And on our way there and back, there's a little town called Nanton, I believe it is. And they have an aircraft museum. And it's just a small little town. And they have this amazing museum we wanted to show you. You can see out front here, got aircraft out. So yes, Nanton, Alberta. It's just south of Calgary, north of Lloydminster. So if you are passing through on the highway, stop in and give a little donation and help them restore the aircraft. Let's go in and we'll take a look. Bomber Command Museum. I think we found Lindsay's new calling.
Pilot.
Where are we going? Are we going to fly to Southeast Asia?
Good. This is pretty neat.
Tree.
I'd like it if it was the closed cockpit.
Can we close the cockpit?
Let's just go down or up.
That's up.
That's up.
Yeah, when you
we're
pull
way
back.
up. And then that's down.
Yeah, you'll start going down. Nothing's hooked up.
No. Good thing.
Ailerons aren't moving.
Look at all the different switches and gauges in here.
So yeah, a tutor.
Or a snowbird.
Or a snowbird. It's a snowbird colors.
We think we're all going to crash. Okay, good job. I'll be happy to get off the plane.
Intakes. But yeah, I guess the tutor was actually used for a lot of training for Air Force back in the day. I got some simulators here. These very basic ones. And here you got the Lancaster. Pretty large plane. At the time, anyway. Large plane. Bomb bay doors. You can still, you can smell military in the building. I don't know, it's nostalgic. That army smell. Well, Air Force smell, military. So I was talking to the lady up front, one of the gentlemen here, and they found out that I'm an aviation buff. And if you watch my videos, you know, I talk about aircraft all the time. I've been ex-military, worked in the private industry on aircraft. So we got some special access to the back of the hangar. We're rebuilding this. Rebuilding it all with wood is a lot cheaper and easier than putting the aluminum back on. But yeah, we got backstage passes here. Yeah. Old engines. I don't know, thanks again. We thought you may like to see some aircraft, and we were going by the museum. And this museum we've passed dozens and dozens of times, and it's always closed when we go through. So this is the first time we've actually been able to get in here. Yeah. This is where all the magic happens, all the rebuilding. So what type of engine was this, Carl, if you don't mind?
That's a Packard Merlin 224.
Packard Merlin 224. And what would be the horsepower on something like this?
About 1,400, 1,450.
Wow. And how many cylinders would this be? 12?
It's 12. It's V12.
Yeah, look at that guy. So they're rebuilding. They rebuild engines, and Carl was telling me earlier that it's the only museum around that rebuilds engines.
Yeah, usually museums all across Canada send their Merlins out, or any other engine, they send it out to an engine shop. But we have the technology and the talent to do it ourselves.
The talent. Yeah, I think it's more
Where are you guys
the
from?
talent. And so we're in a basic, just an engine display room, different engines. And here the Rolls-Royce Merlin. That one's taken apart. Look at the size of the pistons on it. There's one a little more intact. Big engine. And it's 12 cylinders. You got a big radial. Is it a Curtiss Wright? Now, I'm not an engine guy, so I'll have to read. But look at these radial engines. Jacobs. And I got a cutaway here so you can see how the engines work and the valves. You can see how they move in there. Yeah, pretty neat. There. A Cessna crane. And you see an aircraft hanging too up there. Got some models. And we came in, I already walked around to take a quick look at what they had. And I was actually shocked to see this here. It's actually, I can't pronounce it probably, but a Messerschmitt BF 109. Now, I had wondered why there was no German insignia on the aircraft. And it was Carl actually said, yeah, it's from there. It's actually from Spain. This is a Spanish model of it. So yes, the Messerschmitt BF 109, great aircraft back in the day, very dangerous. And I was also told that this was the most highly produced aircraft. Something like 35,000 Messerschmitt BF 109s were manufactured. Yeah, nice aircraft. Not aircraft related, but look at this. Neat. Yeah, they got a whole range of stuff in here. They always had their little personalization paintings and pictures on the sides of a lot of the aircraft. Really neat. De Havilland Tiger Moth. And I'm going to be honest, some of these I don't know the name, so I've had to look. Harvard. Uniform. I used to wear something similar. Like I said, I had Air Force for a few years, so yeah, look at that. That Lancaster. What we got here? You know, it would be so amazing. I would love to go up and fly on one of these older aircraft. If they told me you could pick any one of these, I'd probably go up in the BF 109. All right, well, we'll see what else we can find here. Yeah, it was really neat that we did come in here and they found out I'm ex-military and know a bit about aviation. And they said, oh, you can go back in the back room. That's where we met Carl. Yeah, it's great that these guys do that. You know, this is all volunteer, spend their own time to rebuild all this stuff to, you know, preserve history. And as I said, someone who loves aircraft, I appreciate that. And this thing up here. Oh, there's Lindsay over there. And so when you come in the front door is just right here. This is the entrance to the museum. We've got a lot of miniatures hung. And they're neat, really neat. But the entrance is by donation. Look at this one. That's a pretty big model. Over there we have a store. Buy all this stuff. Like an Avro Aero t-shirts. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff here actually. Down there. We'll just go look at some of the store stuff. Thank you. Oh, look at this. The Dam Busters. The Dam Busters, if you're familiar, was in Europe. They wanted to bomb a dam. And the only way to get to the certain dam was to bounce the bomb along the water to hit the dam. And yeah, interesting stuff. Yeah, lots of merchandise in here. Sorts of stuff. So yeah, that's into the hangar, but we'll go down this way and look. Hats.
Well, thank you very much.
So yeah, I'm in the market for a hat.
This has nothing to do with airplane.
No, it's all probably exception.
I'm not sure what this is a model for. It could be for the local, back in World War II where they had an airport here. Some interesting stuff up there. Pictures. Yeah, this first, when you first come in, if you go to the left, it's a lot of yeah, pictures, information, which is great. Come in, look at this. Just all sorts of information. Yeah, so the whole front area is all info boards. I'm going to the hangar here. And here's some of the art that they put on the side of the aircraft.
And by the beginning of 1941, it took the name Nosar position of the aircraft.
So each aircraft had its own little artwork done on it. And they would do stuff like you can see up there where they've got several bombs. And this one here has it. And I'm not sure exactly what these will all mean. But basically for every sortie, every mission that the aircraft would go on and come back from, they would put another symbol or something on it. And that's, again, I'm just sort of guessing at that. I know with some of the fighter aircraft, every aircraft shot down, they would put something on their aircraft to show how many planes they shot down. I believe with the bombers, it's every mission they went on, they would put a bomb on the side of the aircraft. So if you got 20 bombs, you've been on 20 sorties and returned. All right, so we're gonna get to go into the Lancaster here. And if you see, you gotta wear a hard hat to go in. Yeah, look at this. Looking back toward the tail. It has been years since I have been in an aircraft. And there's down there, that's where the tail gunner is. You can can see. I don't know if you can see with the glare. The rear gunner. I have a friend, his father was actually a tail gunner in the Lancaster back in World War II. So yeah, look at this. A bunch of stuff here. Oil. Interesting. Interesting. We'll head back up. Look at this. There's the top gunner right here. Look at that. Here, we'll stand up in here. You can see the guns. I don't know how good this is going to show up. It's kind of echoey up here. Yeah, here's a top gun turret.
Bro, I really hope this is
Wild. Or, oh. Yeah, almost up to the cockpit. Get as close as I can here. They've got it plexiglassed off. You can see there, we got a radio operator station right there. And 4 of that. You can see the cockpit. Interesting. Right, we'll head back. Well, there you go. Inside of a Lancaster. And this was just rebuilt. All right. There we go. And part here I talked about the dam busters, bouncing bombs. There's one of them right there. Dropped from a Lancaster. So this was basically attached to the bottom of the aircraft. And it would drop in. Because of it being round, it would just bounce across the water and hit the dams. Interesting. I got Lindsay over here looking at me. Lindsay likes aircraft, but I don't think she's an aircraft buff like I am. But she's patient. All right. So that's it for the Aircraft Museum in Nanton, Alberta. So if you ever are passing through the area, stop in. Said it's by access by donation, and you help them preserve and restore some of the aircraft. Sorry, there's a little bit of a glare coming from it, but here's the building itself. Big. There are aircraft up there. I was saying the museum is just like right off the highway. The highway's right there, so you can't miss it if you're going between up toward Calgary.